Someone just commented on your post. You have no idea what to say next. Here's the exact five message system that turns that comment into a membership conversation. Hello and welcome back. That's what we're going to cover in today's training. I am so glad that you're here. And whether you're watching this live or you're watching the replay, I want you to play full out. I want you to comment when I ask you to comment, and I want you to engage with this because I do read all the comments. So whether you're watching it live or not, you can still comment and interact. So how many of you have used the trigger words that we've covered in the last couple trainings? The words like template or checklist or something like that. And you actually got comments from it. People responded. They dropped the word in the comments and then you weren't sure what to do next. Been there, done that. Or maybe they comment on a post that you made and they said something like, this is exactly what I needed. Or they asked a question that made you feel like maybe they were interested and you just liked their comment and you went on your merry way. We've all made those mistakes. That's really the moment that the comment went unanswered or the DM was never sent. And that's the reason that memberships are not getting built. So today we're going to fix all that. We're going to walk through the exact 5 touch points and the conversation system that I use in my building my membership itself. The real conversations that I use. And from the real conversations to getting them to becoming a member. So, because the truth is that the best DM conversations, they don't feel like that you're selling anything. They just feel like two people trying to figure out if this is a right fit for them. And if it is, then the person will ask you to join. They'll ask, how can I join your membership? You don't have to ask them anything. So here's the first opportunity for you to engage. Before we get into today's system, I want you to be honest with me. So when someone comments on your post right now, what do you do? Do you respond? Do you DM them? Or do you just freeze up and hope that they DM you? No judgment. I just want to know where we are and what system everybody is running right now. So for the people that have joined this live, I really appreciate you and I want to reward you for joining this live. So drop me a line in the comments right now if you would like the word for word DM conversation starters that I use. The exact first message that I send when someone drops a trigger word or comments on one of my posts. Drop it in the comments. I want to reward the people that are here today, and I'll give you this script exactly as a reward for attending. Not to mention that you get the opportunity to ask me questions if something doesn't land exactly right. I am here. I want to make sure that you get the true understanding from this. So I want to tell you that something that most people are not going to say out loud in this industry. It makes the tech and the funnels sound like they're less impressive. Look, the ad gets them to raise their hands. The landing page gets their email from them. And then the email sequence keeps them warm. But the true membership is built in the DMs. The fastest path to cash is a conversation, not a funnel. I'm going to let that sit for just a minute. The fastest path to cash is a conversation. And here's why. When Marcus comments checklist on one of my posts, he's not ready to buy at that moment. He's curious. He's testing. He wants to see if a real person responds and exactly how I respond, or if it's just another account posting content and then disappears. The whole point of social media is for us to be social and just be a human. Just interact with people the same way you do in person. So when you send a personal message, not an automated message, don't drop them a link. It's a real message that shows Marcus that, hey, I'm human and I'm here and I care about you. And that you care about his specific problem and that he can trust you. So the goal of the first DM is not to sell the membership. The goal of the first DM is to earn the right to have a second conversation with them. And this is a strategy that I am running right now in my business. The goal is to have 100 conversations a week. This is one of the milestones in my content clarity framework. Not 100 members, but 100 conversations in a week. Because conversations turn into members. And the only way to have 100 conversations a week is to have a system for starting them, and for following up on them, and for staying in front of people who are interested and who go quiet on you. The system is called the Show Up Engine, and I learned this from my mentor, Laurel Portier. It has 5 touch points, and I'm going to walk you through each one in today's training. This is one of my favorite trainings. But a quick question before we get into the 5 touch points. How many conversations do you think that you're currently having per week with people who are interested in your topic right now? Drop that number in the comments right now. I want to see how many people are truly having conversations right now. It doesn't have to be exact, just give me a rough estimate. Okay, yeah, that seems about right. And it's a good starting point. You've got to start somewhere. We all start with 0 conversations, and we all start with low quality leads. That's just how the online game is structured. It's just how you have to play it. So here are the 5 touch points, and each one has a specific job. Each one builds on the previous one, so don't skip around, don't combine them into one long message. The pacing is part of the strategy also. So the first one is done on the same day. It's called the double tap. And this is where you like or you react to a recent comment from the person who commented on your message. It's not giving them a message yet. It's just a signal that a real person is here and that you notice them. Because it takes 10 seconds to drop that first comment and for them to realize that someone is paying attention. And this one may feel like it's too small and it doesn't really even matter. But believe me, it does. Before you send a single word, you want the person to have noticed you twice. So that's once in the post that they commented on, and then once when you engaged with that comment. So you're not a stranger asking for something. You're someone who showed up first. And that is step 1, and it's done same day. Now step 2 is the opener, and it can be done same day or day 1. You send a short, personal, no pitch, again, no pitch first message. You want to reference what they commented on and ask one question, and then you just stop right there. Don't explain the program. It's just one message or one question, or one message and one question. So here's an example of what you could say. Like Marcus is my avatar, so I could say, hey Marcus, saw that you grabbed the checklist. Really glad that it found you. Quick question, which section stopped you the most when you went through it? And then Marcus could respond back and say, honestly, it was section 4. I've never really thought about whether my knowledge was earning me something, or earning me anything. And then you could respond back to Marcus and say, that's the one that stops almost everyone. That's exactly what we need to talk about. Now that last line is not a pitch. It's an invitation. And it ends the conversation, a place where Marcus is wanting to know what comes next. That's its only job of the opener. And then you move to step 3, which is done on day 2. On day 2, it's called the value drop. You send one piece of useful content directly relevant to what they told you in touchpoint 2. You can do a short video, you can do a Loom video, or a tip, or a tool, something that solves a specific problem that they mentioned. Again, there's no ask, there's no link to the program, you're just giving them value. So here's an example of what could be done. You could say, hey, thought about you and this conversation that we had the other day. I found this short clip from one of our trainings, and it's exactly what Section 4 is asking. Thought that it might be beneficial to you, so here it is, and you just provide the link for them to click on and then to view it. And then Marcus could say back, this is really good, I never thought about it that way. Do not follow the value bomb or the value drop with an offer. You let it sit. The value drop has one job: to prove that you give before you take or before you ask anything. Every time Marcus is watching, whether you're the same person on day 2 as you were on day 1, consistency builds trust faster than any sales page ever will. And that takes us to step 4. Step 4 is done on day 3 or on day 4, and this is called the war story. This is where you share something real from your own experience, something that's directly relevant to their situation. And it's not a success story. It's a struggle that you went through, a moment that cost you something, the thing that you wish you had known before you encountered it. This is the one touch point that makes them say, she gets me. So here's an example of what a touch point could be for the war story. You could say, can I share something with you? When my first flip stalled on the market for 10 months, 2 buyers backed out. I had to drop the price 8 times. The hard money loan was expiring. I had nothing running in the background. I had no second income. I had no membership. I had no community to call. Every decision I made was under financial pressure. And some of those decisions cost me more than the bad deal itself. I built the real estate growth program in the middle of all that. Not because I'd figured it out, but because I needed something that didn't exist yet. So that could be my value bomb or my war story that I'm telling Marcus about. And then Marcus can respond back, wow, I had no idea. That's exactly the situation that I'm afraid of. So the war story is the most powerful touch point in the sequence because it does one thing that a sales page cannot do. It lets Marcus feel less alone. And it shows him that you don't just talk the talk, you walk the walk. You have been through what you're trying to share, and you are qualified to train him and to help him succeed further. So he's carrying this fear quietly. And when you can name it out loud of your own experience, it's not a teaching point, but as a moment that you have lived, his wall starts to come down. So that trust builds tremendously at that point. Now, step 5 is where you finally get to the invitation. This is the first time that you mention your program. And again, it is not a pitch. It's done on day 4 or day 5. I'm going to say it again. It's not a pitch. It's an invitation. One clear question. Are you open to learning more? That's it. And if they say yes, then you can send a link and then you just stop right there. If they say no, not yet, then you just continue to build a relationship. You stay in a relationship with them. So here's an example of an invitation, what an invitation could look like. You could say, based on everything that you've shared this week, the Section 4 thing, where you were in your flipping business, what you're afraid of, I think that I can help you. Would you be open to hearing what the real estate growth program looks like and seeing if it's a fit? And that's it. You just stop right there. And then Marcus could say, yes, I'd like to know more. Then your response is, here's the page. You just send the link and then you say, read through it and let me know if you have any questions. I'm here. And that's it. Just act like a human. Someone asked you in person those questions, respond the same way you would if you're having a phone conversation with them or you're seeing them face to face. Notice what didn't happen in that invitation. I did not list the features. I did not quote the price in the DM. I did not give him a long pitch message. I asked him one question. Let Marcus lead the next step. So here's what I want to know from you. Which of the 5 touch points feels like the most uncomfortable for you to do right now? Which would be the most difficult for you to do right now? Yeah, that's true. It usually is the invitation is the most difficult one. But if you've worked throughout the entire time, this is not someone that's a stranger to you now. You've built a conversation with them. You've had a conversation with them. You know a little bit about them. They know a little bit about you. So it really is the next step that you want to ask. And it does get easier with practice. And I know what some of you are thinking right now. That's great, Sandra. But what if you send them an opener and they never respond back? What do I do if the warm lead just disappeared? And here's the truth about that. Most people do go quiet. It's not that they've lost interest. They just go quiet because life got busy. They either got busy in their complicated flip, the job got demanding, or the kids needed something. And they fully intended to continue to respond. They just forgot. How many times, heck, I've put a note in my phone, thought I hit send, and then didn't. And then luckily it was to a friend, and they messaged me back, hey, what's going on? Why didn't you answer this question? And you looked like, I didn't hit send. Life gets busy. So it's not your job to chase them. It's your job to stay in front of them, stay in touch with them until they are finally ready. And they will be ready, because the problem that you solve is not going to go away on its own. It's not just magically going to disappear. And you want to be the first person they think of when that problem rears its ugly head again. You're not a salesperson following up on a lead. You're just a guide trying to stay visible to someone who is going to need you. So if someone goes quiet after touch point 2, don't send touch point 3 the next day and then give up. You want to kind of space it out. Day 2 and then maybe day 4 and then maybe day 7. Just a short check-in. A piece of content that you thought would help them. Or maybe a question that has nothing to do with selling. So here's an example that you could use. Hey Marcus, no pressure at all. Just wanted to check in. How's the flip going? I know things can get crazy. If there's ever anything I can do to help you, let me know. I am here for you. Marcus can respond back, sorry, been slammed. The contractor went MIA for 2 weeks. Finally got back on track. And then you could respond, oh, I know that feeling. Glad to hear you're back on track. When things settle down a bit, I'd love to pick up where we left off. That's the message. Has no ask in it. But it keeps the relationship alive. It keeps Marcus wanting to have a conversation with you. And when the market shifts again, or the contractor goes missing again, or the next deal falls through, I want to be the person he reaches out to, because I never stop showing up for him. So before next week's live, here's your homework. Here's what I want you to do. And I want you to do it this week. This is non-negotiable. Step 1, I want you to go back through every comment on every post from the last 2 weeks. Find every person who used a trigger word, or if they asked a question, or they said something that suggested they were interested. I want you to make a list. Then step 2, I want you to send the touch point to the opener, to every single one of them today. Not tomorrow, do it today. One message, one question, no link. Use the example from today's guide to help you draft that, but make it sound like you. Step 3, come back here and report. Come back to this group. How many openers did you send? Drop the number in the comments. I want to see it, and I want to celebrate you for doing this. This is how you're going to move your business forward. Step 4, I want you to track every response that you get. Write down what they said, because next week I'm going to show you how to use those responses to build the exact content your audience needs the most. And now here's the last question before I let you go today. If you are having 100 conversations a week with people who are genuinely interested in what you can teach, what would that change in your family? Not in your business. What would that change in your family? Drop it in the comments right now. Exactly. It would free up and give you time. Because if you're having 100 conversations a week, it's really only 14 a day. It sounds like a lot when you're like 100 conversations a week. There's no way I have time for that. But you do. And they're quick little responses back on your phone. You're just getting same as you getting a message from a friend. You just quickly respond back, keep the conversation going. But do not drop your link in yet. You don't want to rush that. And when you do drop your link in, it's an invitation. You want them to ask before you actually drop it in. So before I let you go today, I want to make sure you know what is available to you. Everything that I taught today, the first 5 touch points, the conversation examples, the re-engagement system, that is part of what I teach in the Real Estate Growth Program. This is not a concept. This is something that I'm truly using. It's a working system with support, with coaching, and with community of flippers who will be running this alongside of you, working it at real time alongside with you. You don't have to figure out the DM conversations alone. And you don't have to wait until you have 100 followers to start practicing it. You start with a conversation that you can start having it today, and you build the system around those conversations. So thank you so much for taking time to be in here today. I truly do appreciate you showing up live and watching this in the replays. The fact that you keep showing up every week in this community is the same thing that I'm asking you to do in your DMs. You got to stay consistent. You got to stay present. You got to trust the people that need you will find you as long as you keep showing up for them. So go do your homework, send the openers, drop the number in the comments, drop that first pebble. Let the ripples do the rest. I'll see you next week.